You mentioned your vocals earlier when you were younger, how you wanted to possibly be one of those heavy metal singers, and
I did. Yeah.
I want to talk about your vocals because your vocals are very unique to me, and they're incredible as well. I
Oh,
got
thank
a
you.
couple of adjectives here that I wanted to mention. I have smoky and sultry when it comes to your voice.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I want to know, from your standpoint, talking from a vocal standpoint, what are the blessings and the curses of having your voice as an artist, would you say?
Oh man. So the way I like to actually say it is, at my best, I'm a 7. At my worst day, I'm a 6.5. So the consistency of a raspy voice is always kind of there.
Yeah.
Like you probably won't know if I'm having a terrible day because
So the
it
floor and the
sounds
ceiling
same.
are extremely close to each
They're
other.
very close. Yeah, it's always going to be somewhat there. But, my voice is, I wish I had a little bit more range. And the raspy thing, I try so hard to compete that, but like fatigue, it's like there's a lot, it's like it's like a tractor instead of a sports car.
Sure.
It's like it's a heavy burden sometimes when you're doing 90 minutes back to back to back to back. But, I've always envied those crystal clear singers that almost effortlessly don't have. I gotta like throw it,
Yeah.
that thing's on the ground. I gotta pick it up and throw it.
Well,
But
I love your voice, and I love how you utilize it within your songs as well. So, like, as a songwriter, I feel like the creative process is obviously twofold. You're starting with a blank page and you write the song, and then you take that written song on a page into the studio and you create the song at that point. How are you utilizing your voice from blank page to fully fledged song? There has to be a strategy in delivering a lyric and with what you have,
oh yeah,
right?
yeah. Every artist has their inflections, and you have your range, and you have like even certain vowels that are exciting to hear, and certain vowels out of me will sound different than out of you or any other singer
Absolutely.
that I would avoid in a chorus, or
Hmm.
and that's a large point of selecting songs out of the ones you write or whoever's written them, where it's like it's gotta fit your phrasing. Like I got a little bit of a marble mouth, and in the studio it's very very hard sometimes for certain songs for me to sing them very clearly. So I got to pick certain. I try to always think about that stuff, so when I'm delivering it, that people know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Every little detail really. But any song can be transposed and written to the artist in a way that's the best that can be for
Great
them.
stuff. You also mentioned recently that live shows are important, the art of the set list, things
Yeah.
like that. So, how conscientious are you in the studio, from a vocal standpoint? Of I'm going to put this vocal into the song. Are you thinking about how it's going to replicate in a live setting as well later on?
Yeah, actually, I'm writing a record right now because of that. I'm playing a lot of different rooms and a lot of. I'm trying to get into a lot more theaters right now, which is do a little bit of a weirder duo kind of thing. I want to do a tour with a cello player, and I just
Awesome.
want to. I
Yeah.
want to make some weird stuff, and so I'm writing into that because I feel like you got to write the records to the room in a sense, and like this last record I just wrote, "The Man My Mama Raised." That's it's a very up tempo kind of bigger sound, bigger band, and I love playing it with the band. And like those songs, when I write for a bigger band, I write in a higher register because your vocals cut through the mix better.
Yeah.
And but that takes more energy, and you got to really send it. And in the acoustic kind of weirder stuff, I get to kind of relax a little bit more and lean into the lower parts of my voice that get lost in a mix sometimes with a big arrangement.
Yeah, because you're trying to create more feel, right? With a
Yeah.
with a smaller production live, I feel, right? Is that
Yeah, like the acoustic version of Devil there. Like I really love that stuff too. But my thing is I'm just a huge I love music. I love every part of it. I want to do the big full band stuff, and I love the intimate broke down raw stuff.
yeah, it's just it's
Yeah.
extending your toolbox, so to speak, right?
Yeah, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I like to do something different every time. If I did one thing, I got to switch it up.
Yeah, it helps you avoid complacency, which is a killer
Yeah.
for creative people. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
love
you got to
that.
grow.
Yeah, for sure. Next note on my list here is the meeting of music and spirituality with you, and I know that's very important, but it's not the be all catch all, right? Like you have spiritual songs, You have non-spiritual songs.
Oh, sure.
Is this a product of just of life experiences? What you're feeling when you have the pen in your hand, so to speak.
Yeah, for me, I never get too preachy or try to tell anybody any which way in this world, because I'm just a human expressing
Mm-hmm.
certain moments of my life,
Yeah.
and for me, it's very hard to doubt these higher powers in my life that have come and either saved my ass or just been there whether I knew it or not. And it's also a huge element of my life to just be grateful. Like I find that everything that I have is because I eventually check myself or my ego and I go back to gratitude. And I think nothing is more important and nothing's bigger than giving that away to something higher than yourself, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
And not that I like to speak super politically correct about it. It's just, for me, it's very obvious. I'm just a guy walking around. I got to check myself and be grateful every day for everything. And that's
You're an
where I like
artist,
to put
right?
that.
And I mean,
Yeah,
an artist is gonna share what they're feeling and experiencing. I like to put it as you're not a Christian artist; you're an artist that's a Christian, right? And
yeah,
that's the difference in that, so to speak. And
I
yeah,
think so. Yeah, but yeah,
um,
I always use it because it's such a huge thing in my life. So it ends
sure,
up in so many songs.
yeah. And I mean, you'd be stifling yourself if you didn't allow it to enter your songs. But yeah, I don't feel like you're ever too preachy at all.
Yeah,
Anyway, I did want to talk very briefly about the voice, and not maybe perhaps in the ways that you're used to. But
sure.
if you're not familiar with Ian's experience on The Voice, he finished third on The Voice. You were Team Blake, I believe, if I'm remembering correct. Is that right?
Yep, all the way. Team Blake. Yeah,
So
he saved my butt.
yeah, I'm not gonna ask you your experiences on there and all the cookie cutter puff kind of
Sure.
The Voice questions, but I will ask you this: do you have any regrets looking back of that experience?
You know, that's a great question. I don't have any regrets, but I had never really seen the show before being on it. And I wish that I knew a little bit more of it, because I had never really I never did cover songs
Mm-hmm.
or really seen the show. So I kind of went in being like, I don't know. And I could have done a little more homework, I think, and maybe picked a couple songs
I love
differently.
that you just feed me into my only other voice question.
Yeah.
You're talking about cover songs. I've interviewed a lot of folks on these shows, AGT, American Idol, The Voice, and I know how regimented it is. I know that maybe not all the time, but it is very often that the artist doesn't necessarily, or the contestant doesn't necessarily have full control over what they're going to be performing. I don't know if that's the case with you or not, but my curiousness is, as such an uber creative person, how does the experience on The Voice doing cover songs help you as an artist later on? Because I imagine in order to stand out against everybody else that's also doing cover songs, you have to find a way of being creative within the sphere of somebody
Yeah.
else's song, right? So how's that helping you now?
Actually, it's helped me more than I ever imagined. I see, that's one of those things where I brought my ego to it, where I was like, I don't really do cover songs,
Yeah.
and then as soon as I started like rearranging them, and I did a song on the show, "To Make You Feel My Love," which is a Bob Dylan tune, and they let me just completely arrange it how I wanted to, acoustically, and make it my own. And I spent some time and really loved the arrangement, and I felt like I don't know, gotten an insight into another writer, and I kind of grew as an artist myself. And then I kind of got hooked on rearranging other people's songs. And now, I mean, I was kind of foolish to avoid it for so long, because you learn so much and just trying to get through it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's such a great answer, because I see that obviously in the Britney Spears cover you did, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Things
Um,
like I can't sing like her.
yeah, but like I played that song for my wife. I said, I want you to tell me the name of this song as soon as you know what the name of this song is.
Yeah.
And we were 90 seconds into the song before she knew what song it was.
That's the goal,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you sharing it. But yeah, because when sometimes I'll read the lyrics without listening, and like I read the lyrics that day, I was like, I want to do something fun, and I read the lyrics. I was like, it's not a happy song to me,
It's not.
if I was to read it, and I would sing it like this. So I take the lyrics of the song, and I'm like, well, where am I sitting if I was to play this movie in my head? And then I
Yeah.
write that, you know.
Yeah. I love it,
And then I
man.
like it, you know.